All right, folks, once again, a series of interviews about the changing Oakland with Oakland residents, in this case, Uber driver. Again, no names or faces, just his words. So you've grown up in in Oakland most of all your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how you think it's changed?
Gentrification, basically it's systematic racism by way of socioeconomics. That's basically how I see it. And the loan gang came through and separated people from their property because they didn't understand. I mean, they weren't financially savvy, so they didn't realize that, they sell their house, they're not going to be able to buy another one. Then you have people come in and buy those houses, and then they take over the communities and treat people bad who live there. It's a systematic effort, and it's happened, and it has happened all over the place. It's just not really.
Have you been racially profiled?
I mean, daily.
Hey, when you say daily, explain what you mean. I know what you mean, but I just want my viewers to hear it.
Like, I had some people in the car today, and one was Chinese, one was Jewish, and one was American. And the Chinese guy wants to talk about the movie 12 Years a Slave. Part of the first conversation that he got into the car within the first mile and a half.
Why do you want to talk about that? Did he say it?
Well, the psychology behind it is he's over me. I mean, if I was to look at it from a psychological perspective, he's letting me know my place, but he's in my car.
Right.
So, I mean, it's funny because I'm kind of aware of those things.
There's a term for that. They're called microaggressions.
Microaggressions, yeah. And he was telling me he can kick my ass all night because he drank 3 bottles of whatever type of Chinese liquor he had drank. So yeah, I can kick your ass because I had 3 bottles of whatever it was. I mean, it was just that's how it is. That's how. Yeah, that's how people who are melanated are treated by Anglo-Saxons and other peoples. It's like,
if you were to talk to Mayor of Oakland right now, what would you say to her?
I wouldn't say anything to her because she's not going to look at me as I'm equivalent. She's going to look at me as though I'm black. And that means I'm without culture, I'm without substance, I'm without knowledge of self. So there's no reason for her to respect me or anybody like me. But if I have a little education, then I may be considered based on my academic background. But for the most part, she's one of them. I mean, everybody that works in government is on the team.
What did you vote in the this year, or do you plan to vote? Or?
This year, I probably won't vote. It'll be the first time since I was 18 that I didn't vote. I usually vote because it was a time my mother was kept away from the polls and my grandmother couldn't vote, and I voted for whoever they wanted. But it's voting for the most part is something to placate citizens into thinking that they have something to do with who's going to be elected. And nobody talks about electoral colleges. Nobody brings that up. Everybody's encouraged to vote for what? I mean, the votes aren't tallied properly. The votes are based on corporate interest. And it's been like that, but people are too smart to know that shit.
Are you, what, in terms of vote, sorry about that. Just getting out of the way. Careful there. Letting them out of the way. So we are almost wrapping up. So to wrap up, any positive change in Oakland you've seen that maybe gives us hope for the future?
Positive change. I mean, all of the change has to do with socioeconomic racism. So I don't see anything necessarily positive. It's benefiting somebody. It's benefiting some economic interest. So that's some positivity there. But the people who lived in Oakland are being priced out, and it's a hostile takeover of sorts. And the people that have priced everybody out are going to be priced out for a group of people that have more money. And Oakland is gonna have a look of its own. But people are everybody's chattel,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and people don't realize the state of their chattelness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, based on the job that they think they have or the economics that they think they're a part of. If you're not a part of the government or the police,
Mm-hmm.
you're basically fucked. And that's how it is on a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Donald Trump is exciting the middle classes of the South and the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that their time is limited because they're going to be extinct in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So they get all rallied up around what? Race.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're all juiced on that. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, you have things like, not even the world here. What do you call it? The oil thing that the Native Americans are going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I say Native Americans because I don't know their
The
respective
Dakota
tribes.
pipeline.
Yeah, the Dakota pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
We live in, you know, with all of these distractions going on to further saturate us and keep us away from collectivity. And you know, Oakland's a microcosm of all of that to some degree. And in the end, you're going to have money or you're not going to be here.
Mm-hmm. You think we'll eventually see a socialist society because of that, or?
I mean, this is the Virginia company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not America. It's the Virginia company, and it never was socialist. Socialist is an ideal
Mm-hmm.
that I don't even know why it was contrived.
Mm-hmm.
Probably to show opposition. You know, I'm not certain as to, you know, what true socialism is about. But what I do understand is that they always come up with some type of rendition to pacify the citizens and grow and expand those who govern.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what it is, we think the duality is always going to be in favor of those who govern the energy of the world, or the state, or the country, or the region, you know, demographics, whatever. It's always been like that, and it's always going to be like that. You know, and it's like, that's what history says. And I hear what everybody's telling me, but the duality says, I might as well align myself with history because that's the only thing that's consistent. You see all of these things with all of these different faces, but they say the same thing, but it looks different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's saying the same thing, but it sounds different, but it's saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's like we don't get the duality of that. You know, all of the laws and what do you call them? What's a group of laws?
Legislation.
Legislation. Oh, damn it, I'm listening. But the point is that, you know, everything has two reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and we understand one way. We don't get grammar, rhetoric, and logic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do. They make the rules.
Mm-hmm.
They make it in law. And it's in legal rhetoric, and it's for them to understand and master, and for us to have an idea of. So we get all of these ideas, but nothing comes to fruition because they presented it to us to benefit them, but we think we're okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of weird.
Hey, well, that's very valuable this interview and discussion. Thank you so much.
No, not a problem.
You got it.